Yeah, we're good. All right. Today, welcome, guys. We have a special guest in the studio today, and I would introduce her, but I don't want to screw it up, so I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Felecia Kennedy. I'm an instructor here at One Breath CNA.
Okay, and how long have you been an instructor, Felicia?
I've been an instructor for
You love it?
actually, I do.
Have to, huh? To do it for 10 years. Before you got into teaching, what setting were you working in?
I worked in the automotive industry for about 15 years. I worked for a BMW dealership and I worked for a Cadillac dealership. So I did that for about 15 years and then decided to get into the medical field.
You just woke up one morning and said, I'm not selling one more car.
Actually, I did. I woke up and I said, I got to make a change. This is too stressful. Let me do something different. And so I decided to go into the medical field, found my passion there with geriatric patients, and it was on from that point.
So was it something that happened where you was like, I'm just done with this, or it just reached its potential?
Actually, I had a daughter that was interested in the medical field.
Okay.
And so I actually decided to take a class with her. We took it together. I found a passion in it and we just took it a step further from medical assisting. I went on to sonography. I'm sorry, from CNA, I went on to sonography. I think I took medical assisting, patient care tech, which was a combo class, and then just went on to nursing to LPN.
Well, I just learned something because I've known you for a few years, and never knew that you took the CNA course.
I did.
And
That's where I started.
I learn something new every day. So, do you have any advice for our listeners? Someone may be selling cars right now and decided maybe this ain't for me anymore.
Get out now. It's very stressful trying to meet those quotas every month, right? I would just say find your passion. You know what I mean? If medical field is something that maybe you've been interested in doing for a while, maybe just take a leap of faith and just go out and just do it. We have a medical assistant class here at One Breath CNA that, I mean, it's a great course. It's short. It's not a long class at all. It's about 12 weeks. You can come in, get it done, and get out and start working in the field.
Okay.
Making money because it's growing right now. The medical field never stops.
Recession proof,
Absolutely.
pandemic proof.
Absolutely.
Okay. I've been teaching for a little while too. I rarely get the opportunity to speak with other instructors. How do you keep your students engaged? Because these are not the same students we're accustomed to.
Honestly, with my class, I have what I like to call an open discussion class. We kind of we just honestly keep it real. We just, I ask the students about things that may have happened in their lives with their parents or with their children or with them,
Mm-hmm.
and just keep it kind of open discussion with whatever topic we're on.
Okay.
So that alone keeps them engaged because everybody wants to talk about themselves and
They
their
feel like they're a
families.
part of it.
Right. They feel like they're a part of it. And I get to know a little bit about each student as well. So all of that together helps to keep the class going and keep it interesting. It's
Okay.
not just book, right? We're putting life experiences with it.
I've had several phone calls from people saying they're interested in becoming a medical assistant. So I get to run down what it consists of. And every time I get to the part where we introduce phlebotomy, how do you handle that student who has a needle phobia, scared of needles?
Honestly, you have to take it student by student, person by person, because everyone is different. And there's a reason why each person is afraid of needles. Some people are afraid of needles. Some people are afraid of the thought of something being in their vein. Some people are afraid of blood and not the needle. So each person is different. And I just have to take it, differently with each student.
I get the opportunity to listen into some of your classes. It's a lot of laughter. I guess that's just my personality, but I don't think anyone wants to sit in a boring classroom. So, but you have a good balance of professionalism mixed with the humor.
Absolutely.
Was that your personality before you started teaching? It just transferred over, or you had to develop it?
I think it's a little bit of both because I think a lot of people think I'm being silly and funny when I'm just really being real with them. So they take it as humor. But yes, you have to have a balance between the two.
Okay.
You have to keep it funny, you have to keep it live, you have to keep them engaged. And a lot of times it's just the students making me laugh because of something that has happened with them, or gone on in their lives. We just try and keep it humorous and knowledgeable at the same time.
That leads me to my next question. You've been doing it for over 10 years now. What is the most valuable lesson you've learned from your students? Just one.
The most valuable lesson I've learned from my students probably would be honestly empathy. And I know that sounds strange, but I've learned that through them. Because prior to teaching this, I felt like I had none. I honestly felt like I missed out on that boat. But teaching for so long and being around so many people, I feel like they taught me empathy.
Okay, that's a good one. Take us back to that one moment when you realized that you were helping people change their lives and also impacting the community at the same time.
Okay, so I had a student who she was a medical assistant student years ago. She wanted to become a doctor. Actually, she's a doctor now.
Sweet.
And that alone is rewarding for me to see our
Absolutely.
students go further than what we could imagine, probably further than what they could even imagine. They're thinking, okay, I want to be a doctor one day. And we're like, you can get there, you just got hard work and dedication. So the one student that I had that became a doctor, she took medical assisting and we did phlebotomy and she actually stuck my finger. We did finger sticks and she stuck my finger and stuck it all the way to the bone. Right. And so, at that moment, I realized, okay, yeah, you want to be a doctor. Well, we got a long way to go. We have a long way to go. I would just say it's just rewarding for me to see students come through and they don't know what they're doing and then learn the proper way of doing things when they get out in the field.
That light bulb moment.
That light bulb moment. And then they go on and pursue their dreams.
Sweet.
And to see them at the end, because we're still friends, to see them at the end.
Outstanding.
Right, become doctors and nurses. It's rewarding.
I love it. What do you think one of the biggest misconception is about working in healthcare?
I would say one of the biggest misconception would be, that's a good question. Oh my, well, you got me on that one.
If someone was to ask me, I would say the money. People automatically think you're going to be rich as soon as you start working in healthcare.
I just want to help people. That's what I did with my grandmother. That's what I did with my grandfather. And it's much more than just helping people.
I'm telling you.
Right? You want to help people how? Because you got mentally ill people. You
Right.
have people that have come in that maybe just got a paper cut and had to have a finger taken off. Like you have patients of all sorts. But you just want to help people. No, you got to mentally be prepared yourself to help people.
I agree.
And you also have to have a passion for it. So I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions of it. That have helped family members and say, I just want to help people.
Right.
But it's so much that goes into it.
It is. I agree.
So much. And you get burned out. Sometimes people get burned out.
We were gonna talk about that too. But first, you worked alongside doctors and now you're teaching your students to work alongside physicians. We have to teach by the curriculum that we sent to the state. But if you could add like an unconventional course to the curriculum, what would you prefer to add? Something outside of the box that y'all need this. Okay, let's talk about it.
Right?
It goes hand in hand with sickness.
Help patients that are mentally ill, and you gotta be mentally stable yourself. I need you to take care of yourself first. You can add anything to the curriculum.
Put your mask on first. Okay. Do you see the future of medical assistant and phlebotomy education? Is it going to fizzle out?
I don't think that it will. I don't. It's been going for years. People thought 10 years ago it was going to fizzle out. We're going to flood the market with medical assistants. Hasn't happened yet. 10 years later, we're still in.
Growing
Phlebotomy,
strong.
we're still in.
Yeah.
People creating their own businesses with just phlebotomy alone, on wheels.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Mobile.
Yeah, mobile phlebotomy. So I don't think it's going to fade out. And now you got, medical assistants, they're doing jobs of LPNs. So just kind of changing roles, right? You got med techs doing the work that LPNs used to do with passing meds. So it just kind of, I don't think it's going to fizzle out.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but don't you think people being a little slick? You go to school for one thing and then you get to the job and but you're not being paid for that.
What point in the medical field, there again, mental health, do we decide, okay, you're using me?
Right.
You're using me.
Right.
Because you're not paying me to do this.
In your classroom, you teach your students how to handle that conversation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ask for the money. Don't be afraid to ask for the money. They're not afraid to ask you to do the work.
Absolutely. Not at all.
Right. They're not afraid to ask you to come in on a third shift when you just work somewhere else on the first shift, right?
Right.
So don't be afraid to ask for the money. Absolutely. We talk about that. We discuss that. We discuss, personal ability. We talk about finances. We cover it all. Yeah.
outside of instructing, you also have your own business.
I do.
Before we get out of here, I need the listeners to learn about that.
Yeah, I have worldwide staffing services. Anytime you need help in the medical field finding a position, I'll be more than happy to help you. Recently, I've been kind of just helping people along the way, but I'm going to try and actually promote worldwide staffing services. I've just been doing it out of the kindness of my heart recently, just kind of helping people. And actually, God has just put people in my place in front of me to be able to offer different positions for people, right? I have
Right.
people coming to me saying, look, Miss Felecia, I need such and such a MA for this time of the day, or I need a MA or a phlebotomist for this time of the night. And just lucky through One Breath, I'm able to provide them with these people, right?
Okay.
And place our students at jobs. So I'm going to start running it through my worldwide staffing services.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested in that, you can reach out to me. Let me go back one more.
Go ahead.
Take a step back.
Go
Back
ahead.
to the mental health and the personal ability.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I know I keep preaching that, but it's so important because when you're going out to look for a job, you need to look presentable. Right. We need
That
to make
part.
sure our hair is combed. We need to make sure that we smell decent. Right. We need to make sure that our clothing is not wrinkled. And I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm not putting anyone on the spot, but I
Right.
tell my students the same thing. Right, if they were sitting in front of me, I would tell them the exact same thing because what kind of woman would I be not to inform
Right.
them that this is what you should look like, this is what you should smell like. You can't just go and expect to be hired. You don't look the part.
And we've seen it several times, but where do the students learn that?
Well, if they are not taught at home, I'm here for them. If they are not taught at home, and I say that respectfully,
Right.
I will teach you. If you need to know anything you need to know, they can ask me.
'Cause when I was coming up, I don't think I had this is what you wear to an interview conversation with nobody in my household. And then as you listen around, you want to dress nice. But dressing nice is different for everybody. Some people say, where would you wear to church? People don't go to the same church.
Exactly. And nowadays you wear whatever you want to wear to church, right?
So
You have
that's
things
out the
for
door.
alternate. How you go, right? Some people do, honestly. I go to church and I'm
Right.
okay with that because if that's what you and
Right.
you're coming to the house of God, then that's what you
Yeah. Some people think that nice is club nice.
Right. No, that is no. I'm gonna reserve that for the club. Right?
Get the job first, then go to the club.
Get your clothes and go to the club. So if you don't have anything, okay, I tell people you can go to a thrift store. You can pick up a scrub jacket, right, for $2-3.
Right.
Right? You can wear your scrubs to an interview in the medical field. That is saying I'm here and I'm ready to work. That's exactly what it's saying.
So you implement things they can actually use at the workplace. It's not just going through a book, flipping through pages,
No.
highlighting definitions. Okay.
We can teach anybody that, right?
True.
We can teach anybody that and how to take a test, right?
Right.
But the goal is to teach people how to be professional when they're out in the medical field, how to get this position, how to get this job. I have students that reach out to me on the weekends, right?
Right.
Now, should I take the call? Probably not. But do I? Absolutely. Because
I got a
I'm
bad
here to
habit of
help.
that too.
Yeah, it's really a bad thing because once you start, they don't stop, right?
Right.
Because they're texting you at 12 o'clock, 12 a.m., 3 a.m. 3 a.m., I'm not answering. I'm going to tell you that right now. Miss Felecia is asleep, right? Roll
Right.
it over. Do not, because I won't answer you until the next day.
Right.
So, but they'll reach out to me, and if I'm up and I'm not doing anything, I will answer, right?
Okay.
Any questions that they may have, whether it's a personal question, I've had those because some people don't have anybody to go to, right?
Right.
If I can help you in any way, I will definitely do that. You can ask any of the past students that we've had here at One Breath. Anything you need, anytime, not anything you need. Let me retract. Not anything, but professional wise.
Edit that out, honey.
Right.
Not anything.
Anything.
Can you give us a few strategies on how to maintain balance and avoid burnout?
Yeah. You maintain balance by push yourself a little bit to do just a little bit more, but don't push yourself too much to burn yourself out. Take the time that you need for yourself, right? Whether it's mentally, whether it's just out like you like to play ball, right?
Right.
Whether it's that, whether it's reading a book. For me, it's going to the coffee shop. Everybody who knows me know that I love some Starbucks.
Day doesn't start without it.
Right. It don't start, right? It can't. So, little things like that, right, will help you get your day started and get going.
Okay. All right. Well, that is all I have for today. And I want to thank you for stopping by. Did we go over everything that you wanted to get across to our audience today?
So, students, I see some young that I actually just want to give business cards out to when I'm out and about because it just looks like they really hate their jobs. And not just young women, young men too.
Mm-hmm.
They just look like they hate their jobs. You know, when I go through the drive-thru, I just want to give them a card and be like, do you want to do something else? Do you want to do something more? When I'm at the grocery store,
Right,
right? I see the cashiers. Do you want to do something more?
right,
What else is it that you want to do with your life? You know, and sometimes they haven't even thought about it, never even thought about the medical field. And
right.
here you have someone in front of you introducing it to you.
Who
They
can
never
who can
even
get you
thought
there?
who can get you there, show you the way and how to get there,
Right.
and teach you the way how to get through it, how to navigate, right?
Indeed.